Hey guys, Function2 here of course, and today we're discussing and playing the arena mode using the mighty Furitaka. Now, when you have these modes that are limited to tiers, I must say Furitaka is absolutely amazing because it has 25mm sights. The top, the bow, and stern of the boat is 19, so it's overmatchable by 203s. So that is something to note. It can overmatch its own bow and stern, but the angle, if you angle in Furitaka, is actually 25mm plating, so you can actually bounce 14-inch battleship shells, which at tier 4 is the highest caliber you'll ever encounter. So you're actually the most tanky cruiser in tier 4 if you're fighting only tier 4, and because this arena is limited to only tier 4 ships, Furitaka is a great ship. If you're looking for a tanky cruiser that kind of plays like a battleship but it's not a battleship, brings its own food in a sense, then Furitaka is the ship for you. In terms of the arena mode itself, the fact that you have buffs along the map, whoever wins, if there's no longer any draws unless you have the same amount of kills per team, is a really good change. I do like the change that we have buffs around the map. I don't like the fact that we still have a central cap. I think we should have more focus on the buffs on the center of the map. Maybe like passive healing is done in the center of the map. Something like that. There should not be a cap, because unless you're in a fast boat like a cruiser or a destroyer, sometimes you can't prevent caps, and it's just a little bit unfortunate. Additionally as well, divisions have a very strong impact on whether you win or lose these games. Division play is quite important. You have to get paired with a good team in order to successfully win in these arenas. If you're playing solo, you can pull some crazy stuff off, and I've got some games coming up that will showcase this, that you can do really well. Solo in arena, it's actually sometimes better because sometimes you've got good teammates, they kind of take the experience as well, something you could have got if you're playing with less good players. So sometimes it's a good idea. But arena division play is very comfortable for getting those wins. As you can see, by the way, Furitaka overmatches the entire armor plating of the entire Emil. Everything on the Emil is 19, so as you can see, it doesn't matter what angle he presents to me, I overmatch him in every way, shape or form. So yeah, that's why I'm getting the citadels. It's when he's angled I can actually get more armor to penetrate instead of the overpens. And yeah, Emil Bertan's a good boat, don't get me wrong. It's probably a better one than Furitaka, just for the sheer case of the DPM and the chance to be overpenned. But when it comes to AP, the Furitaka is the best cruiser out there by a long shot. Koenig, we're gonna bounce most of his shells. He is shooting HE though, so we actually don't bounce any of it, and he does take us fire out, engine out, and double fires us, so not great. We can't really angle very much against HE, so yeah, particularly battleship caliber HE of course. So do what we can to bounce the Bertan AP, HE, sorry. And oh, okay, he went straight, he just straight stopped there, so good job on him. We're doing good shots. We do get set on fire unfortunately, but we're gonna do what we can to get to that meal. Torpedoes on the Furitaka, by the way, 10 kilometers. Really good torpedoes. Definitely worth trying out. And arena is just such a good, Furitaka is such a good boat for arena. Particularly when you have a healing buff like this. It means you're very tanky and you can do pretty well if you're smart about how you angle. You can always disengage as well. Japanese cruisers are typically quite stealthy as well. But yeah, onto the actual arena. I know we've been diversing back and forth on what's the good ships for. If you're looking for good ships for the arena, I would say for cruiser, the Furitaka or the Emil Bertan, depending on your cruiser style of play. For destroyer, the Farragut's a very good choice, and if you have something like the Gremiashi, I don't really normally recommend premiums, but that's a very good boat there. Kamikaze does have its uses, of course. We all know what the Kamikaze does, so I'm not going to mention that really. In terms of battleships, the Cesare, Julius Cesare, is a very good choice. The Iron Duke's a very good choice. Got a lot of versatility there. Nevada's a very good choice as well. Bit slow though, so that's a bit of a problem. Congo's a very very hard to use, but it can really do well. So my biggest recommendation for tech tree would probably be, what do you call it, Nevada. Nevada is a very good pick. And if not that, maybe even Peter if you're very careful. That being said, if you get broadside, which sometimes is inevitable in these matchups, you are taken out pretty darn quick in Peter, so something to know. So yeah, Cesare is what I'd go for. Nevada is a good choice. Those are good options for those battleships. In terms of cruisers, the Furitaka, the Milbertan, very good choices. In terms of premiums, Yahagi is a good choice as well. God, I'm trying to think of tier 4 cruisers now. Can't think of anything actually. Jeez. There's some more. Oh, Marblehead. Marblehead's a very good pick. If you're careful about how you play the Marblehead, don't just get broadside and you get dev struck. Don't do it. If you don't get shot in the Marblehead, it's a very good boat. It's got a lot of gun power, a lot of oomph in its guns, despite having so many of them. And the Marblehead in particular has very good long range, fast firing torpedoes. Omaha again, very good choice if you're careful about it. If you're not careful, that's a dead strike right there, very easily. So yeah. We're getting a little bit overzealous with the Furitaka AP. It is very good, it is 203, which is this tier essentially battleship caliber guns. So, you know, it is not battleship, it's just heavy cruiser at most. But it's still pretty tanky for tier 4. It's overmatches quite a lot of stuff. So we're going to aim for the infrastructure again and get some hits on the Koenig, but not sure this will kill him. No, that's unfortunate. Sometimes you just definitely want to shoot HE in the Furitaka as well. Japanese HE is by no means bad, and so we do switch to HE now, but it's a little bit too late. I think the AP is going to kill him. No. Wow, that's unlucky. Alright, we're going to try and fire another shot on the HE to finish him off, unless my teammates do that. Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, in terms of cruisers, Furitaka, Milbertan, and then Yahagi's a good pick. Destroyers, you've got Remiashi, you've got Kamikaze, you've got Farragut, you've got tons of options really. The British are pretty good as well. It's like cast, I believe. Yeah, there's tons of options really, but it's what you enjoy, what you're most comfortable in, I'd say is a very good option. In terms of cruise as well, Emerald for me was a very strong pick, so that's something to note as well. But yeah, the central cap just simply should not be there for arena. That's a bit of, I know I'm being back and forth from ship choices to arena picks, but yeah, I think it's worth discussing the arena a little bit while we're doing this game here. It just shouldn't have a central cap, simple as that. Remove the central cap and make it like some sort of buff zone. If you stay in there for like 2 minutes, you receive a buff, or move all these buffs that everyone gets at the start of the game, move them towards the center. That way it encourages people to push, and people who don't push will simply lose out because they can't, just because they're the last people standing, or you know, they don't have, they're at the edge of the map, they don't get any of the buffs, and they're simply going to lose out because whoever gets the most kills at the end of the game does win. So I don't see the point for the capture point. There's just no reason to have a capture thing here, a capture the base. It just doesn't really provide any benefit to anyone. Late game you just cap in case people are camping, I understand that, but realistically there just be more buffs in the middle of the map, maybe speed buffs in the middle of the map, so you can hunt down people that are hugging the border and get rid of them, or maybe like have a mechanic at late game where things are spotted. There's so many options you can go around by removing the cap circle because having the cap in the map means you're going to get games where people are just going to cap straight away. So that's my only change I would say is get rid of the caps, the central cap, and maybe change the kill thing to combined overall XP for each team. Whoever has the most XP gets awarded the win, because again, kill steals are certainly a thing, and some people are very good at just running around, you know, waiting for the opportune moment to steal those kills like that. That's how last arena was just not fun. This being said, again, we need to do something about divisions. I don't know but it's quite strong being in division and winning these games very comfortably. So I don't know what can be done about that. I think it's a little bit unfair to people who aren't in divisions, but that being said, I don't think it's going to gain breaking of any sort. So here I think I'm asking my teammate not to cap here. These are two lovely players of mine, if you don't know them. Very good players. Dazzler and this Warrior Cowboy. Very lovely people and very good players, so do watch out if you see them on the seas. But yeah, capping I just don't think is a good idea. It just kind of encourages people just to cap the base, and really that's not what you're trying to encourage. Simple as that. In terms of the buffs that are completely random, that's fine, and I think that's a very good call, and I do like the fact that they've introduced arms race and arena. That's what I recommended beforehand, and I'm glad they at least listen to similar feedback. I'm at this point just trolling this teammate of mine, seeing if I can actually, if I bounce the shell, does it count as friendly fire or whatever, but Furtaka is very accurate boat and actually completely misses him, so I'm just calling it a warning shot. So yeah, arena really all about the brawling. It might be worth having like a Fortnite sort of thing where the map shrinks and you passively take damage. You know, like maybe like a storm's coming in, you know, your ship's gonna get capsized or something like that. It would work, you know, and the more time passes, the closer you have to get to the central area, and the central area is where you draw out and fight. So, you know, that would be another cool way of introducing people to brawl in these modes, because that's what it's all about. That's what you're trying to encourage doing for these arena modes, is people to actually fight out and not just try and cap the base. So yeah, having like the player unknown, like the PUBG sort of thing, where the area does actually shrink and you take damage when you unless you get in those specified areas. You know, it's a pretty common thing for those player, what do you call it, survival battle royale sort of things. It's not a bad idea, and I think that's a good suggestion, to be honest. So something to note, you know, if you agree with any of these ideas, do post them in the feedback section under either their Reddit, their Discord, or even their Facebook. They actually do encourage, they want a lot of feedback, and recommend, guys, if you agree with some of these points, or you've got your new points, or different points, put them in the comments section below. I'm actually really interested to see how you guys would like Arena to be reworked, because so far this new mode, the way they've done it so far, is quite good. I think it's quite good. Overall, I'm quite happy with how they've done it, and I do hope they continue to improve it more in the future, but we got to make sure we're telling them the right things, otherwise it's just going to get worse instead of better, and it's going to cause a lot more problems. But at Omaha we can pretty much match the whole thing again, so we're just going to pester the thing, and every shot we fire is likely to be a good penetrating hit or a citadel. So yeah, I do apologise if you guys can hear some long mowing. It's just I can't really dull back the sound too much, but there we go. Anyway, Omaha does go down, and we're down to one last ship who is simply just running away, and because we have the cap circle, we can just capture the base here. This being said, I think there should be I think the Battle Royale thing where the map is literally shrunk is definitely a good idea. Passively taking damage when you're not in the circle that's growing smaller and smaller is a very good incentive, and it does seem like a lot. Maybe it's too much of a mechanic to introduce, but I think that's not a bad idea to try, or at least consider. So time's going to run out before we actually get the cap, but as you can see, we've got 6 kills, so we're definitely going to win and get our bonus here. Basically, the more brawling, the more fun you have, the better you'll do in this game mode. And it's XP based as well, so even if you don't get any kills and your teammate has all the kills, it doesn't really matter as long as your team gets the kills. And if you've done over 200k damage or more, you still get rewarded for that even if you don't get the win. So it's pretty nice. I do like the experience. It should be staying like that, hopefully. It's just one thing they need to change is simply just getting rid of this cap circle, because at this point here, he's just hugging the border. He's full health. We could cap the base. If he was something, I don't think we should have the cap circle in the first place. but I think people that hug the border like that should be disencouraged. So, yeah, 3.7 base XP, devastating strike, high caliber, just 100,000, 11 citadels. Pretty fun game for me. Hope you guys enjoyed. And that's my thoughts on Arena, guys. So yeah, hope you enjoyed, and as always, catch you next time. Bye for now.